A startling statistic has emerged in the tech world. Over the last 2 years, a staggering 60% of new hires joining many specialized AI teams have been entry-level professionals. This isn't just a number, it's a signal. Stripe's head of AI recently framed this trend as a potential mentorship crisis, a quiet but significant warning that could reshape the future of technological innovation. This shift in hiring strategy, while seemingly pragmatic on the surface, carries profound implications. How engineers learn, how teams collaborate, how the very products we use are built and maintained. The industry is facing a critical inflection point, one that forces us to question whether rapid growth is coming at the expense of sustainable expertise. The core of the issue is a simple imbalance. When the scales tip so heavily toward junior talent, knowledge transfer begins to break down. For decades, the tech industry has relied on an apprenticeship model. New engineers learned by working alongside seasoned veterans. They absorbed not just coding techniques, but the wisdom that comes from seeing projects succeed and, more importantly, fail. Stripe, a company at the forefront of financial technology, has observed a distinct and concerning pattern in AI hiring across the industry. Their head of AI described a trend. Teams are becoming increasingly juniorized. This means the ratio of junior engineers to senior engineers is tilting heavily toward the former. Imagine a workshop. 1 master craftsperson, 10 apprentices. Apprentices are energetic, versed in the latest techniques. The single master cannot possibly provide detailed, one-on-one guidance to all of them simultaneously. This is the scenario playing out inside many of the world's most advanced technology teams today. This trend is not born from a single, simple cause, but from a confluence of pressures. The race to integrate AI into every product and service has created an almost insatiable demand for talent. Companies are in a frantic sprint. Hiring junior developers is often the fastest way to expand headcount. New graduates come equipped with the latest frameworks and models, a ready pool that can be onboarded quickly. The problem, as Stripe's leader noted, is not the juniors. Talented, motivated, essential. It's the ecosystem around them. Healthy teams balance experience. Seniors provide the context, the why, sharing lessons for systems that are stable, scalable, secure. When senior numbers dwindle, knowledge sharing becomes a bottleneck. Progress may look fast, but debt quietly grows. There are several compelling, practical reasons why so many companies are prioritizing the hiring of new graduates for their AI teams. The first and most straightforward reason is cost. An entry-level engineer typically commands a significantly lower salary than a senior with a decade of experience. Hiring 3 juniors for the price of 1 senior can seem fiscally prudent, tripling team size and, in theory, output. Second, supply is abundant. Universities and boot camps produce steady streams of talent trained on the latest tools. These individuals are fluent in modern ML stacks, TensorFlow, PyTorch, and the newest generative models. Finding a senior with 10 years experience in a field reinventing itself yearly is incredibly difficult. In contrast, bright graduates with up-to-the-minute knowledge are more reachable under pressure. Third, fresh perspective. Unburdened by precedent, juniors catalyze innovation and try unconventional approaches. They embrace nascent technologies that experienced engineers might view with skepticism, and sometimes they're right to. Finally, speed. Senior searches are long. Campus recruiting can bring in entire cohorts in a single wave. In a market where speed is advantage, rapidly scaling with juniors is irresistible. It's understandable why they do it. However, mass hiring junior talent may be a short-term fix that creates a long-term systemic problem. The warning from a leader at a company as influential as Stripe is not one to be taken lightly. It's a call to pause and reflect on the engineering culture we're building, and whether it's resilient enough for the future. The consequence of this hiring trend is the creation of a mentorship deficit. Mentorship is the lifeblood of professional development, the channel for tacit knowledge you won't find in textbooks. When seniors become scarce, their time is stretched impossibly thin. A mentor who once guided 1 or 2 might now juggle 5 or 6, Each junior receives less feedback, less coaching, less context to grow from good coder to great engineer. This deficit doesn't just harm the mentee, it also burns out the mentor. Seniors face the hardest technical problems while being a constant guide, a precarious balancing act. Their critical work suffers, or mentorship becomes shallow and rushed. Eventually, burnout leads to exits, worsening the scarcity of experience. Mentors do more than review code. They model professionalism, teach communication, and collaboration. Without strong mentorship, teams devolve into silos. Standards fail to take root. Today's juniors are tomorrow's senior leaders. Without guidance, they won't develop the depth to lead the next generation. Each successive cohort inherits a weaker foundation. We could face a decade-out shortage of true experts, not for lack of people, but a breakdown in how we create them. So, yeah, that's the looming crisis we need to address. The absence of strong mentorship manifests in tangible ways that impact product quality. A junior selects a popular model, ships a prototype quickly. Benchmarks look great. Without probing from a mentor, they may miss performance on underrepresented groups. It works beautifully for most, but yields irrelevant or biased recommendations for minorities, hurting UX and reputation. Another pattern. Quick patches and new services add complexity and brittleness over time. A senior would steer toward robustness, future scalability, and maintainability. Without foresight, debt grows. Later, the system turns slow, unreliable, and opaque to newcomers. Careers stall when engineers ship code without learning system design, leadership, and org navigation. Without champions and constructive feedback, growth flattens. Talent churn rises. AI failures can be serious. Juniors optimizing accuracy might miss misuse vectors and safety issues. Experienced mentors insist on security reviews, harmful content checks, and edge case testing. When that experience is absent, products are inherently riskier for everyone. The value of a senior extends beyond code. They are institutional memory, the whys, alternatives, and trade-offs. Without context, teams relearn costly lessons. Seniors drive strategy, invest in tests and refactors, and estimate realistically, anchoring speed with judgment. Stripe's leadership warns from inside a high-bar engineering culture. Optimize not just for speed, but sustainable speed. Modern tools create an illusion of simplicity. They lower barriers, but mask gaps in system design, data integrity, and ethics. Tools provide the what, not the why or the what if. We can build AI fast, but if we do not keep mentorship, we lose the judgment that keeps systems safe. True, lasting success depends on speed and judgment. Commit to balanced ratios. For example, at least one senior for every 3 to 4 junior hires. Formalize and reward mentorship in job descriptions, performance reviews, and promotions. Create structured pathways, paired programming, regular architecture deep dives, and rigorous, teaching-oriented code reviews. Protect senior time, shield from distractions, hire PMs, empower delegation, give space to think, strategize, and teach. This multiplies expertise across the team. The future of AI needs youthful energy and seasoned wisdom, navigators and engines together. Invest in people as you invest in products. Mentorship becomes a core pillar, not a nice-to-have. Benefits follow. Higher quality products, more resilient systems, lower turnover. This is a solvable byproduct of success. Heed the warning and broaden focus beyond headcount. The balance between speed and wisdom unlocks AI that is powerful, safe, reliable, and worthy of trust.